So if there's no more questions, I'm actually glad that Al mentioned ginger. I was going to show everyone how to slice ginger for certain types of dishes. Okay, so let's move to the cutting board right now. So we just have a little nub here that I've used. So I keep my ginger out at room temperature, and it dries up. That's fine where I've cut before. So I'll just slice this piece off and toss it in the garden or the garbage or the compost bin, okay? But I'm gonna show you how to slice it thinly in sheets if a recipe calls for that. And then I'm gonna show you how to cut them like julienne or matchstick, and then how to mince it, okay? So knife, how we hold our knife, friends, is basically you wanna hold it like you're shaking a hand, okay? Just hold it down, babe. So you wanna shake like you're shaking someone's hand. You don't wanna hold it here, because if you hold it at the end of the knife, the base, you're not gonna have control. It's too wobbly, okay? And you don't wanna hold your knife like this, friends, because your finger can slip and you don't have much control. So you're gonna hold the knife like you're hand giving someone a handshake, and you'll feel like after you leave this webinar, friends, go and grab a knife and try to practice. It will feel so much better, and it'll feel more secure, because the knife is an extension to your arm, okay? And that's where you're gonna have control and prevent you from having any mistakes and cuts and no trips to the emergency room. All right, so holding the knife like I'm shaking its hand, and I'm just gonna go ahead and thinly slice that piece, set aside, okay? And as you can see, I'm kind of slowly, for my sheets, I'm slowly letting my knife do the work, okay? I'm not chopping like this. I'm taking this part and gliding the knife through the ginger all the way down, okay? It doesn't have to be a straight chop down. You're gonna rock. And that's how you want to cut things. You want to rock, okay? Like Aaliyah's song, Rock the Boat. Okay, so you got your sheets here, right? Some recipes call for sheets. Perfect, done. You don't have to do anything else, okay? Now, it calls for julienne or matchstick. What you're gonna do is you're gonna stack them up just like that, okay? Have your knife, just level it up, and how you want to hold your fingers and your hand, friends, is like think of a claw, okay? So we're doing the claw right here, and you want your fingers, your tip of your fingers, to touch the cutting board, and that will prevent you from hurting yourself and cutting yourself. Because if you have your hand flat, I mean, you could just see what can happen, okay? If your knife slips or whatever. So you want to do the claw, have your fingertips to the cutting board. That way your knuckles are gonna act like the fence to where your knife is gonna be on. So your knuckle and your knife are gonna be in constant, like in connection with each other, and you're gonna allow them to talk to each other, so you know where it's at, okay? So you're not gonna cut yourself. So right now, stacked up, and we're just gonna julienne them. And as you see, I'm doing the rocking motion. Okay, I wasn't all, as you can see, the pace, I wasn't like, don't try to do like those chefs on Food Network where they go crazy and they go like I know it's TV, but we don't need to do all that and hurt ourselves. So just take your time, slowly put your knife through. Okay, so now I'm gonna show you how to mince it. So here's the key, right? So as you can see my cutting board, there's some moisture, okay? That is the goodness of ginger. That is all the juice, okay? So it's okay that a little came out, because it's gonna happen. Just like when you cut a tomato or cucumber, onions, there's a little moisture that comes up, totally fine. But you don't wanna lose all the potency of the ginger, right? So I see people, they take their ginger and they run their knife all the way through it, and then at the end, there's like a puddle of ginger juice. That's the goodness. You want all that flavor to go into your curries, to go into your stir fry, to go into your fried rice, etc. Okay? You want all of that in there. So what I do, same thing, get my matchsticks, have them all together, combined, okay? And then I'm just gonna go ahead and take my knife and just cut across it. And that is our mince. That's all we're looking for. When you hear minced ginger, you don't need to make it into mush. There's no point in that, okay? And for me, I love ginger so much, and it's really good for us and our health, that it's okay that we have a little bite of ginger in our food. It's good for us. Okay, as you can see, I'm still doing the claw. Dave, you want to just zoom in where how my finger is? You see how the knife and my knuckle are like just touching? My knuckle is guiding my knife, as you can see. And as I'm cutting, I'm slowly moving my fingers back, like I'm moonwalking. Okay? That's your minced ginger there, friends. That's it. So we have sliced, Julienne matchstick, and minced.
Full array. We love that.
Yeah.
A question over here from Mary, and then a question from Joan. So let's go to Mary first.
Sweet.
Unmute. Okay. That was so beautiful, the way that they all looked stacked next to each other. So do you eat raw ginger in any types of foods or recipes that you know of?
I do. So actually, if I feel like I'm getting sick, believe it or not, I'll take a little nub. Was yours like this? So I'll take a little nub, y'all. Like I'll cut off this part and I'll eat it. And I'll just like suck on it or just chew it and hold it in my mouth. And then I just feel like it helps with, you know, my nausea and everything. Or I'll take fresh ginger like that, same size, smash it and boil some hot water and just like pour it over the ginger. There are times where if I'm making stir fry, I'll cook the ginger in the stir fry, but sometimes like the Julienne, I'll top it off. And I love eating raw ginger, so it's not bad for me. But if it's too potent for you, you could always cook it down. You could always boil it a little or boil some hot water, pour it over, and it will be less pungent. But yeah, to answer your question, I do enjoy a lot to eat raw ginger.
Cool. We have a question from Joan. If you'd like to ask Joan, you can, and if not, I will read it.
So do you peel your ginger or you just leave the outside on it?
That's a good question. I get that. That's probably one of the most questions I get when it comes to ginger. I don't peel my ginger. So what I do, since it's a root, I go ahead and wash it. So I'll decide what size piece I'll need. I'll rip it off, wash it, and I'll actually take it and I'll scrub it with my hand. You don't need to get like a brush or anything. And then these little, like, see all like this, there's kind of like, it flakes off a little, as you can see. I'll go ahead and like use my knife and just like shave it off. And like these dried hard nubs, I'll thinly slice it, but that's as far as I go as far as peeling it. I don't peel my ginger because I believe that the skin still has so much nutrients and flavor in it that I like. It actually is a little spicier. The skins, I like to keep the skin on, but just make sure you wash it if you choose to keep the skin on, because it is a root, so it lives in the dirt, and it just needs to be rinsed a little.